Hello and good afternoon, good evening. My name is Jeff Belville, and I'm actually coming to you live from Marysville, Washington, which is north of Seattle. And I couldn't be more excited to be spending a little bit of your Wednesday evening with you just to share some amazing information that is, quite frankly, the most exciting business information I've seen in the last 10 years of owning businesses. And so I know we have people tying in from all over the country. It's pretty exciting. That's why I love technology. The downside is it's kind of, I can't see you, you can't see me. And so to break past the barrier of the screen that's in front of us, I always like to give a couple shout outs and just mention some people who are worth mentioning joining us in the live stream tonight. So I know we have people still kind of hopping on. I know it takes a minute to get everything on, but real quick, I want to just mention John Bates actually has a guest. So he is actually in the Seattle area. His guest, Steve, is from Fort Smith, Arkansas. Welcome to the live feed. Steve, glad you're with us. Jane Haynes, who is awesome, and she is actually in the Marysville area as well. She's got a couple guests tying in from Boston, Massachusetts. So Michelle, welcome to the webinar. We've got Josic from Baltimore, Maryland. That's actually where my wife grew up, so kind of a great city. We've also got none other than Danelle Glover, who's another one of my favorites. Now I have to say everyone's my favorite. But Danelle is an incredible individual, and she's invited Charlene to join us from Eugene, Oregon. So welcome, Charlene from Oregon, my hometown of Eugene. And then Jersey Harris has a guest that is joining us from the Seattle area. Johnny, welcome to the webinar, and we're really glad you're with us today. We've also got Gary Clayberg. He's got his son and his daughter coming in from Texas. Actually, Tyler, welcome to the call. And also Brittanique, I totally probably messed that up, from Bend, Oregon, welcome. And we've also got Carol Duncan from the Roseburg, Oregon Marketplace, who's got someone from Pocatello, Idaho. Kyla, welcome to the call. We've also got Cheryl from Salt Lake and about a dozen other people that I don't have time to mention, but we just want to say welcome to the feed. Some of you are live streaming this in your living room, which is pretty awesome. I'm really excited to share this information with you because just so you guys know, this is a very exclusive broadcast, okay? We really shared this with, John, Jane, Danelle, Jersey, Gary, Carol. We said invite just a couple of the top people that you'd want to share this with, okay? People of excellence and integrity. So if you're on this broadcast right now, feel loved because they cared enough to invite you, and that's pretty awesome. So, we're also, just so you know, sharing information that very few people have experienced. In fact, this is such a ground level conversation we're going to be having today. There's really not that many people who know about this. In fact, many of the states and cities that I mentioned on this list, nobody knows about what this information is. And so just over the next 40 minutes, okay, really key in. I know there's probably some busyness that we all have as a part of our lives. We probably got some things going on in your afternoon, but if you really key into this information over the next 40 minutes, I promise you're going to get something of value out of it. At least you'll know how, what your friends are doing and why they're so excited. But most importantly, I believe, just as it has for me and my family, could dramatically impact the financial future of your life, okay? So for those of you just coming in, I can see people are joining the live broadcast right now, so welcome. My name is Jeff Belville. I live in Eugene, Oregon, but I'm coming to you from Seattle, and really, honestly, the conversation we're going to have tonight is about a business expansion that is probably the greatest thing I've seen in the last 10 years of being an entrepreneur. And so I'm going to share some concepts with you and some powerful information that has allowed me and my wife to replace our income in just a matter of 43 days. And we get a kick out of sharing it with people like you going all over the country. I've been in multiple places across the country in the last few months sharing this vision, sharing this information. And everybody walks away knowing that value was transmitted. So really quickly, I'll tell my story very fast, and then we'll jump into this information and go right through it, okay? So right out of high school, I decided I wanted to become an entrepreneur because I knew a lot of the wealthiest people in my world own their own businesses. So I saw a correlation between wealth and owning your own business. And so I usually ask people, and since there's a screen in between us right now, it's a little difficult to do that, but I usually ask people, why would you go out and add a stream of income to your life? What would be, why would someone be crazy enough to go out and start a business, right? And traditional businesses can be expensive and risky, and home-based businesses have a reputation. And so right out of high school, I was like, okay, I want to go out and create some money. I want to make some money, right? And so there's some of you who are watching who are very money motivated, like I was. Over the last 10 years, my passion has been more in terms of helping people. But people start businesses for a lot of reasons: freedom, buying back their time, not letting someone else decide how much their time is worth, and building your own dreams instead of someone else's dreams are things that usually come up in the conversation. Some people just want to start buying back their time and experiencing like we haven't started a family yet, but I don't want to miss certain memories with kids because I'm trading my time for dollars. So all of these reasons come into play when you talk about adding a stream of income to your life. And so the conversation we're having tonight is about Trenant. Trenant is a financial education company that is extremely powerful in terms of the kind of information that we're about to share with you, okay? The reason being is not only the timing, but we're innovative. There are three things that we've done that no one has done in the industry before, and positioning yourself in that kind of information can be a very good business move. But most importantly, the vision of Trenant is to educate financially. And so why is it so important to educate finance? Well, if you look at some of the statistics that Americans are a part of today, you don't have to look very far to see some depressing facts, such as 80% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Okay, 70% Money Magazine says 70% of people have less than $1,000 in their savings account, and 1 in 3 people have $0 saved for retirement. So Trenant was developed by 4 entrepreneurs, really, who have done great things in business, you guys. When I flew out and met them the day after I found out about Trenant, which is a crazy story, but I sat down with these individuals and I learned some things about Mr. Lauren Berry, who's one of the founders. He actually was designed the technology that is the company called TD Ameritrade today. Okay, so he was a founding member of that. He also has developed a lot of land and properties. And then you have Scott Bland and Russ Losey, who helped design, were founding members in Ancestry.com. So here are these guys who have built billion-dollar companies. And they designed Trenant as a traditional business first, because after 2008, they saw the wake, the trail of disaster that happened after 2008. And many Americans have not yet recovered from that experience. And so understand that Trenant was born out of a need to help people master money and to create money automation. So if you are perfectly set right now in your financial life, this is also a conversation that is very important to have, because there's always ways to enhance what we're doing. And the wealthiest people in my world are always a student of success, learning how to, have tools and technology support automating money mastery. That was a mouthful, but that's what we're doing. We're automating money mastery. Say that 10 times fast, right? So really, I want you to understand that this company was forged out of a need that every American faces. Because if you are set in terms of being a multi-millionaire today, odds are you probably want to share this with someone who isn't quite where you're at, right? This is a vehicle that can transform people's financial lives in a powerful way. And so under my face, we'll get started. There is a link that will give you access to our business overview. Okay, so if you click on the show more under my face in the description, what you can do is find the follow along here button. Okay, and you click on the link, it'll pull this up in a different tab, and that way you can kind of follow along with the information as I'm going through it, which is Very important, okay? So once you've gotten that pulled up, just kind of start following along. We're going to start in box 1. This is actually the building that I flew into my first day hearing about Trinont, okay? And so this was a really incredible experience for me, because the only reason I was open to looking at other ways of making money was because the people that invited me to take a look at this had been generating millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars in the home-based business industry. And they are in the top 100 money earners of all time. And so I actually first met them in the nosebleed section of a stadium. They were training on wealth, and I was taking a lot of notes. But what happened was we became friends, and they had been my leaders for 6 years in another venture that we had been building together. They called me up and said, we're moving to Trinont. The next morning I was on a flight to meet the founders of the company, and I ended up walking away from my income for previous ventures to do Trinont overnight. That was how powerful the information I'm about to share with you is. Okay, so we were born 7 years ago as a traditional company. It became networking or a home-based business opportunity 3 years ago. Last year, this time, we had 4,000 associates. Today, we have 22,000 associates in North America, which is ridiculous timing, okay? So the second box here is really our services that create automation, that money mastery, okay? So we have 3 categories of services that help people get on track, but also enhance whatever you're currently doing. There's always a better way to approach winning at the money game, okay? The first category of services we offer in Trinont is actually the foundation, and that is called the core services. The core gives you access to 7 pieces of technology, which will actually do everything I've been talking about, help you manage money, help you save money. Do you know the average person, only 46% of Americans have a budget, right? So there's certain technology now that has been developed specifically for Trinont that will help you in this fashion. How do we do that? Well, Trinont OneView is the first part of the core services. I want to talk about it for just a moment, because OneView aggregates all of your financial data into one place and allows you to see your entire financial life at a glance, okay? It's just as secure as any banking website, and what's amazing is as you start to see all the pieces come together, most people go, oh my gosh, you know, because the average person spends most of what they make, and it's a just wow thing, you know, because it exposes good and bad habits. And so the average user of OneView is going to spend 10% less of their disposable income. That could be hundreds of dollars a month that it's saving. And I know we've got some incredible testimonials of people saving hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just because of the awareness factor of using OneView. It's the best money management tool I've seen on the market, and we offer that in our core service. The second piece is Trinont Defend. This is an amazing, amazing group of services. It's actually above LifeLock in terms of its rating on the Better Business Bureau. Very, very thorough way to protect your identity. Identity theft is the #1 crime in America. So I don't know if you are proactively protecting your identity today, but this is a really simple way to have the best defense possible. I've got a testimonial of a friend of mine who actually had their identity stolen 12 years ago, and the FBI had to get involved, and they're still cleaning up the mess from this one person who hijacked their identity. So it's important to be proactive about this. Defend is a great way to do that. They're not just going to protect your social, they're going to protect your technology. So like your computers, I love it because they come in and clean your computer out for you whenever you want them to. The tech support is profound, okay? So also they do social media monitoring and Cyberhood Watch. And so you can kind of keep track of if there's a felon who moves into your neighborhood, you'll get an alert, right? So Defend is an amazing technology, but Trinont Tax is one of my favorites. And this is actually a pretty cool, oh, by the way, I have to say welcome Jane and Frank from Linwood. And yes, okay, there was another shout out I had to give. Jane's on fire. So TaxBot is the next subscription service that we offer. And TaxBot was developed by Sandy Botkins. He's the foremost tax attorney in the nation. He actually advises he actually trains IRS auditors. So he designed this technology to help business owners track the expenses that they have. And when you hear him speak, he speaks with passion because 84% of people are overpaying on their taxes. And they don't have to be. They can actually use a small business like Trinant to start. Actually, this is truth. If you are an employee right now, you're working for someone else, they're paying you money for your time, then what's happening is you can take 6 legal tax breaks. If you own a business, a small business or a home business, you can take over 100 tax breaks. And Trinant is going to help you track those legally so that in an audit-proof way. So for example, the tax bot's going to click on as soon as you start going 15 miles per hour. It's going to track. Oh my goodness, Elisa and Jared from Nebraska, welcome to the webinar. Sorry, I keep doing this. But you can see that my tax bot has helped me track almost $15,000 since January 1st of this year, just because I've been driving around, I've been taking pictures of receipts. It saves it in the cloud. You guys don't ever have to save a receipt ever again. Okay, you crumple it up and you throw it back. I love this feature because it makes life easy. The average user is going to be saving $300 a month. Okay, that's really, really powerful. Obviously, it's a whole lot more than that for me. So if you don't have a small business right now, you're losing out on tax advantages that you could be taking just for being a part of Trinant. The next item is Trinant Legal and Trinant Tax Prep and Services. This is a great in-house service that we have that allows you access to amazing attorneys and legal support. So Harvard says that the average person is going to need 3 hours of solid legal advice each year. Why would you say people skip out on that legal advice? And the answer usually is, it's expensive. It's so expensive. Most people like in Oregon say $200 to $300, but since I've been up here in Washington, people are always saying $500, $600, $700 an hour just to get good legal advice, depending on the subject. So you have access to that legal advice as well as document review. They'll set up a living will and even a trust at a discount and all kinds of legal support, defense in court at a discount. It comes included, the traffic violation thing, which is really exciting. But just understand having that built-in legal protection is going to save you money over time. Who knows how much that's going to save you. But also the tax prep and services. I don't know if you pay for taxes to be done, and we're all thinking about this because it's April 18th, right? Or, well, that was yesterday. But anyway, having a CPA that specializes in small business is important to have. I wish I would have had that throughout my life because there's been a lot of CPAs who don't specialize in that, and I lost money. So you can have Trinant be your tax CPA, doing your taxes personally as well as corporate taxes if you file corporate taxes. All that comes included in the core. Isn't that amazing? The next piece of technology that I think is probably one of the most profound ones is the credit services. Would you guys say that having good credit nowadays is a good idea? The average FICO score that Americans have is below good, okay? And it is 698. And so if you have average credit today, did you know how much money that's costing you every day, every week, every month, every year? And if you can tally all that money up, you can see how Trinant's going to massively impact your life. If you've got excellent credit today, did you know there's strategies and techniques that the bureaus don't want you to know about that will actually help you make money just for having good credit? Like you get paid to have good credit. There's some crazy things that our credit ninjas at Recredit Company do for Trinant Associates. For myself and my wife, like I just got a notification today from TransUnion. I wonder if I can pull up the email. I think it was Credit Karma said, notification, your score just went up. And so I logged in and I found out that my wife's score went up 50 points in a single day just because I have these little credit ninjas working behind the scenes. I'm not doing anything. I just sent them my information. They've been going and disputing things that were wrong. Did you know if you've got more than one address, more than 3 addresses on your reports, that the people who are living in those addresses today, like old addresses, their credit score is affecting yours? I mean, there's all these weird nuances to the credit game that can affect our lives. And most of the time it affects us when we finance certain things. Nowadays, you can go out and get a car no matter what your score is like. But you know you're going to pay a higher interest, which is going to cost you money on a monthly and annual basis. Not with Recredit. When Recredit comes in, they help build people's credit at a rapid rate. My score went up over 100 points since I've been a part of Trinot, which allowed me to renegotiate interest rates and, credit cards, mortgage, car payment, amazing stuff. It can save people thousands of dollars. We also have an IRS department and a student loan department. We had a lady yesterday, she just found out, and she was freaking out because they were able to eliminate $30,000 of medical bills off of just because our Recredit people went to work. Isn't that amazing? We have another lady up here in Washington, Amber, who had over $3,000 just stripped away because they had Recredit working for them, okay? So agencies like this would usually charge you $100 and then they don't really do anything. Ours is included in the cost of the core and they're amazing, okay? The final point in the core, and box 2 takes the longest, so we're gonna get through the rest of this pretty fast, but I want you to just understand that what we're doing is we're adding value to people's lives. It's not about just making money, and it's about adding intrinsic value to what we're doing. And I love the core for doing that. The next piece is Trinot Health. Would you say that, or have you ever spent more than an hour in urgent care at the doctor's office? I hate that. As much as I can, catch up and do stuff on my phone, it's like you're exposed to all these germs and stuff. Well, now you have Trinot Acute Care Triage, where you can FaceTime with the doctor, do telehealth. They're going to help set you up with any prescriptions you need, so you don't even have to go in. You just do 90% of it can be done over the phone. Isn't that amazing? So the second piece of Trinot Health, we just added an associate-only alternative to health insurance. So this, remember when I said there were 3 innovative things to watch for? This is one of them. Trinot has brought on board Liberty Health Share, which allows you to find ways of saving money in health insurance. Most people are confused about the future of health insurance since the election. Nobody really knows where it's going to end up. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you are on. But we have a solution that allows people to go from paying a lot of money to a little less money. For instance, my buddy Craig, he's got a family of 5. He was paying $1,300 a month in premiums and $2,000 per person for deductibles. Our program is less than $500 a month for his whole family at $500 in deductibles. That is a dramatic saving story that we can offer anyone who comes on board. There are some restrictions, but honestly, it is so much more lenient than anything I've experienced in the industry. So the core is awesome. It's going to save people an average of $900 a month for patching up these holes in our financial life. But then it's only going to cost you $125 a month to access all of this value, okay? And I'm going to show you how to get that pretty much for free here in a minute. But when you think about it and you add it all up and you put it out on paper and you look at numbers, it is amazing the value they've put together in this subscription. So that's the first category of services we offer, $125 a month, nuts. Second category of service that we offer is actually in wealth plans. So Trinot's overall vision is to help people with financial education. Well, most people don't have a plan in place, or the plan they have in place isn't going to get them far or where they want to be by the time they want to retire, right? Who here wants to retire? Like on this webinar, I can't see you, but I'm assuming that most people want to retire someday. And if you already have a plan in place, don't you want there to be more money in that account? We have a great testimonial from Cherie Hoffman up here in Washington. She said, I found out that the wealth plan that Trinot Life offers was going to allow me to pay the same amount of money that I'm currently paying for my retirement plan, but it's going to get me twice as much money in a third of the time. And that testimonial is so profound. It's so powerful. A lot of people will tell a testimonial of, I was on the Work Till You Die program and tell Trinot. And so what we're going to do, here's what we're going to do. We're going to schedule an appointment with a wealth specialist. They're a licensed agent through Trinot Life. I don't know if you've ever had this done before, but ours is proprietary and unique. And it's innovative because they come in and they look at everything, the financial landscape of your life, and they show you things you might not know. Now, I thought I knew. I thought I knew what I didn't know. So I sat down kind of like with an ego thinking, oh, what are they going to do for me? And I was like emotional, like it was embarrassing. I'm like, oh, am I like emotional right now? Because they showed me that the path I was on was not leading to where I wanted to be. And they showed me a very simple way to get a wealth plan that created a retirement I couldn't even have dreamt about without spending any extra money. So this is what we do at Tranant, is we help people have hope again, and we give them an avenue to actually achieve their dreams in a tangible, no hype environment. So that's the second category. The third category, if you can see in box 2, and if you're just popping into the feed, under my face, there's a link, follow along here, where you can plug in and be watching this form on your screen. Okay, I'm saving the best for last, so hang in there because this is really exciting stuff. But the final category here is retail services, and I'm not going to go much into this, but just understand that you can make great money in personal residual income by referring simple services that businesses have to use anyway. So if you know of like a bakery or a cafe and you know the business owner and you say, hey, when was the last time you were quoted? I found a great company. Then you just go to your phone, type in the name, email, and phone number, send off a referral, and our Jive phone system is going to call that business owner, quote them. Or if it's national processing with credit card processing, they're going to guarantee savings to that business and set them up without you. And then once the customer's closed, you're the one making 10 to 35%, like you can see in box 3. So you can do that with Tranant Solar, you can do that with home security, even Dish or DirecTV, whatever it is. This is kind of a side note thing, but it's a powerful way to start generating extra income for you on a recurring monthly basis. And that's the topic of conversation that I'm going to get into in a minute. But the next concept is in box 4. And this is awesome because even before we talk about owning a business and creating income on the side, what we call a side hustle, right? Box 2, even without a business attached to this, is going to change the course of people's financial lives. And I love that about this. I mean, wouldn't it be refreshing to know that if you introduced this to someone and all they did was become a customer of the core and had their CNA done, that their financial future would be like drawn out for them. They would be able to see, they'd be able to have hope, and they'd be able to have financial education that lasts a lifetime. So first and foremost, I fell in love with Tranant because my wife and I always wanted to help people. We always wanted to help people fix their realities, which oftentimes were broken. We wanted to help them fund dreams that had been put on the shelf that were kind of dusty, because most people's dreams are expensive, right? And third, we want to help people retire because, hello, there's a crisis. If 1 in 3 people have $0 saved for retirement, there's some problems out there that we need to solve. And I don't know how many people who are baby boomers that you need to witness pumping gas or getting a second or third job to understand that America is not on the right course right now. And I believe that we can change the world economy one household at a time just with what's in box 2. But box 4 gets me excited because I've always loved owning businesses, and streams of income excite me because security is important. So I don't know if you've ever considered having a business, but the beautiful thing about a home-based business and why I chose this industry 10 years ago was because I don't have to spend all this money up front to start a business. I mean, my first company that I owned, $30,000 just for the equipment. But with Tranant, it's $349 for the base package that gets you an entire business where you can choose the pace of what you want to do with this. Some people going to do nothing, right? Some people are going to put some activity into Tranant and make some money. Some people are going to treat it like a real business and make a ton of money, right? Like my wife and I just chose to do this thing big, And so essentially, the base package gets you in at $349. That includes your first month on the core service. And then you have the gold package, which files a corporate entity for you. And that is awesome because there's tax advantages. But then the platinum package is total estate plan, which is like setting up a trust and all those things. It's really powerful. And so most people sign up for $349, and it's just an awesome thing. So that gets you in the door. Now what? To build a business in Tranant, it's really simple. I'm going to explain boxes 5, 6, and 7 through the lens of how my wife and I were able to create a 6-figure income in 43 days, okay? So I know that seems kind of crazy, but I'm gonna show you step by step how we were able to do that from home, from a computer, from our phone, and it's just exciting. So box 5, biggest key in business is leverage. Nobody wants to just work until they die, right? So the only way you can create leverage in business is by having other people coming in and helping other people coming in and building a network, okay? So that's why I love leverage, because if you own a McDonald's franchise, you're gonna make a certain amount of money every single month, but if you have 5 McDonald's franchises, you're gonna make some more money. So what we're gonna show you how to do is introduce this to a few people that you want to be in business with. Imagine that. People you like. So feel loved because you're liked. But essentially, we're not doing any convincing. We're just showing them the plan. And if they come on board, awesome. If they don't, awesome. We're taking this thing to the top. And so all we need is to find 3 associates. Okay? 3. Once you find your 3 associates who are on the core services, you're now making $100 a month of residual income. Residual income is the 8th wonder of the world, okay? Because it will afford you to see the other 7 wonders of the world. Why? Because you do the work one time and you get paid over and over and over again. I started my first business at 17 and it had residual income attached to it. Thank God, because I became obsessed with that concept. But today, 10 years later, money is being deposited into my bank account every month for work I did 10 years ago. Are you getting paid like a rock star for writing a song back in the 80s and getting paid for it today? I don't know. Maybe you are. But if you're not, then you need to do Tranont, because that experience of having money flow into your account every single month is the best feeling ever. Because especially when it starts to have a comma in that check, then you can go out and vacation the world, and the money still shows up in your bank account. So that's the concept here. And it all starts with just getting 3 associates. Once you get your 3, then we're gonna help them get their 3. And so once you've got 12 people in your team, you're now on box 6, and you have qualified for the Jeep promotion. Jeep for You promotion is one of the coolest things Tranont has done, partially because I love Jeeps, okay? Like I didn't love Jeeps before Tranont, but there's something that happens when they're paying for you to drive around a new Jeep that's just really exciting. And usually I set the alarm off during a presentation just to, to make the point. Why did they do this? Because they knew 90% of Americans have a car payment. And that's usually the worst financial decision most people will make. And what happens is, if we can replace that car payment with a Tranont Jeep that's paid for every month, $500 every single month, then we can take that existing car payment, which Dave Ramsey says is $470 on average, and then we can plug it into a wealth plan with compounding interest that will create retirement options for the future. See, most people don't know there's money that they can move over and change around and create options. And that's what Tranont is good at doing. So get your Jeep. You're getting 12 people on your team, which is simple. You're not going out and getting all those people. You just showed 3. They're getting their 3. Leverage, right? Right now, as we're talking all across the country, as people from Massachusetts, Maryland, Washington, Idaho, Utah, and Arkansas are watching this video feed, there are people in my team who are having a 3-way phone call and sharing the business and signing up in Tranont, and I'm not there. See, the key to making money while you sleep is to have a very duplicatable, simple system. And so if you can show people how to get 3, then you can make $1 million in Tranont really simply, okay? Now, box 7. This is what captured my attention. You guys have to understand, we were in the top 1% money earners. I mean, we are in the top 1% money earners in the industry. And so we had just built a team of 5,000 people in a different venture. And so when I looked at box 7, it was gonna take a whole lot of convincing for me to make a change, because I don't like change. I don't know if you can relate to that, but I don't like change until I saw box 7. Then I was like, we have to do this. This is crazy. This is going to help our team win so much. 1, it is transparent. You can see what people are making at the positions they hold, which is transparency, which eliminates that weird need for smoke and mirrors or fine print or all these hoops to jump through. You can read the fine print down here. I mean, there's no like gotchas in Tranont, because we want to create a transparent company that is helping people win in a real way. And so I love that in box 7, you can follow along in these little categories, these little columns, starting with rank. You can earn associate to CEO. When I first looked at this, I'm like, show me what I need to do to get to CEO. Because 6 figures a month really intrigues me. I'm kind of interested in that, right? But I won't get ahead of myself. Let's start with associate and work our way up, okay? So you can earn these ranks on the left side of box 7. And then what's cool is the second column is personal volume. All you need to have personally in terms of services in your business is $100 of personal volume. And that is what's going to qualify you to promote through the ranks. So once you're on the core, that's $100 of volume. So you're done. Then you need to have qualified group volume to progress through the ranks. So by introducing this to a few people who get on the core, you know, if you let's say you have, I'll use some names. So let's say Jane is your first business partner. Let's say Gary is your second business partner, and Carol Duncan is your second or third business partner. You would have $300 of qualified group volume because those 3 people are on the core services. See how this works? What's neat about it is those 3 people are revolutionizing their financial life. They're getting a wealth plan. They're getting educated. It's awesome. And they're making money. But because you've got 3, now you're making a team bonus of $100, right? And so you can see as this starts to grow, as those 3 people get their 3 people to get their 3 people, everyone's worth $100 of group volume. It can happen very quickly. And so if you take your finger and cover the last 2 zeros of each of these numbers under QGV, which sounds like I'm speaking a different language, that shows you how many people you would need on the core service to reach that rank. For instance, we hit 2-star SFC in our first 60 days by having 200 people join our team. Now, we only went out and signed up 17, but out of those 17, people signed up their 3, who signed up their 3, who signed up their 3. And it's grown past 400 now, which is really exciting. So you can see that the income generating potential here really increases the more volume you have. What I like about, let's just use 2-star SFC as an example. You build a team of 200, you're generating around $6,000 a month of residual income that comes regardless of your efforts that month. Isn't that amazing? And so I just looked at this and I realized that my team of 5,000 in a different company paid me less than 200 does in Trinant. It didn't take me very long. I'm not the smartest, but it didn't take me very long to realize that this was a really good business move. And so you can see that you get the Jeep bonus, the retirement bonus, the bonus pool bonus. All those things are very powerful and can generate great money for you. But let's look at the second innovative thing that Trinant's done. Okay, Trinant has put together the core, the wealth plan, and the retail services. No one's ever done that in the industry before. That's the second innovative thing. But the third innovative thing is a big picture thing. Okay, this is something I've never seen done before in the industry because it hasn't been done. They actually have designed an end game for people who are building their business in Trinant. So if you go out and you start building your business and making money and generating residual income and all this stuff, if people are getting wealth plans in your team, which of course they will, because when we show you how to become your own bank and start making money on your money, everyone's going to want one of these wealth plans. What happens is there's a commission attached to each one of those wealth plans that gets written. And so Trinant Life is a totally separate income stream for you if you become a licensed agent with Trinant Life. But then we're building a book of business with these wealth plans. And it is growing in size and maturing. By the time it reaches 150,000 plans or policies, it will be worth $1 billion. It will be sold just like insurance companies do all the time. Without getting into too much detail, Trinant will actually take 30% of that $1 billion sale and spread it throughout the licensed agents who hit a position in Trinant. Isn't that amazing? That's a $300 million end game that you just got to be a part of for hearing this information. Like, it's crazy. This is just a dream come true in the industry. And so that's partially why I've been losing sleep about this, because I'm so excited about what's possible here. And yeah, we're making great income in Trinont because we worked hard and we put people in front of this information. And if you do the same, you can experience the same exact thing my wife and I have experienced. And I know the people who invited you, who are on the line tonight, they are totally moving through the ranks. I'm familiar with each of their businesses because they're all on my team. And I know that they are progressing through the ranks. Many of them have already achieved their Jeep. And many of them are progressing and generating great income on both sides of the business. Ask them about it. But honestly, you have to understand that you're the very first to see this no matter where you're at. So you can never say from here on out that I wasn't at the right place at the right time because I've never seen timing. Do you understand that, like, for a place like Arkansas, you could be the first Trinont associate in the entire state of Arkansas? Is that a good thing? Are you going to position yourself in a good way by being a part of Trinont? Absolutely, in my opinion. Okay. So I don't know what it is for you. I looked at this from a lot of different angles. I'm very, very thorough and actually kind of a skeptical person. And I needed to know that doing Trinont was going to be not only beneficial for me and my family, which it's changed our lives forever. But I have to say this, that in terms of our team has made more money than ever before, than any team I've built in the last 10 years in networking. Understand that what you have your hands on here, when you look at it really with a close eye, that you won't be able to find something like this out there. In fact, the truth is one of the founders of our company sits on the board of directors for the Direct Sales Association, which is the highest authority in the industry. He's able to see what companies pay out to the field. And Trinont just so happens to be in the top 2 highest paying companies in a $180 billion industry. So I don't know where you're at. I don't really know you at all, but I love sharing this information, and it's kind of mysterious who I'm talking to. But if you've got a plan today, awesome. Can we make it better? I believe so. If you don't have a plan in place to get yourself time freedom, to get yourself financial independence in the next few years, then life is going to look exactly like it does today then. In fact, with cost of living going up, I mean, it's probably going to be a little bit more stressful, right? If your wages stay the same and cost of living goes up, I'm not a mathematician, but generally you have to do something different to get a different result. And for me, I was willing to change a little bit, add something just into the cracks of my life to build a Trinont business. And I didn't realize it would grow as fast as it has. I didn't realize that the reception I've been finding all over the country from people wanting to get their financial lives in order would be so great. And so if you want to join our team, it takes 5 minutes. It's $349, which I don't even consider that an investment. That's like a trip to Costco. But you get to be a part of something that's growing faster than probably any other company in the industry today. Get with the person who invited you. They want to show you how to generate income here. They want to do it with you. And if you're not into building a business, maybe you could become a customer of our services, and just utilize the value that we have here. Whatever it is, I hope that you do something that will enhance your future. I hope you do something that will leave a legacy to your kids. To leave an inheritance is a good thing, in my opinion. And I'm honored to have spent a part of your Wednesday evening or afternoon, wherever you might be in the country. And I actually would really love to connect with you one-on-one just to kind of talk about how this could fit into your life, how you could be generating income on the side, how we could show you how to make 10 grand a month in your first month, like we went out and did. Whatever you want to do, we can show you how to fit this into your life. And so thank you so much for spending parts of your day with me. And I can't wait to connect with you one-on-one if that's what you want to do. But you guys have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you out in the marketplace. God bless. Oh, by the way, there's a core video link underneath my face, which will actually show you more about our core services. It goes a little bit more in depth and stuff. So if you want to check that out, you can do that as well. So thanks again. Have a great rest of your evening. Good night.